Hi everyone, and welcome back for our weekly giveaway fun game where I'm asking you a question. This time we have got Naughty Charlie here today, which he has been missing in action for a little while, but he decided to join me. So I just want to show you what I've added to the giveaway. So I've added quite a few bits. I've added this bag topper that you can decorate however you want. So you just fold that, put a bag in there, and you can decorate this however you want. There is a little booklet for you to decorate as well. So there's a little book. I've just left it blank. There are some of these little paper bag things that you've just got to put together, stick down. I'll just show you. You just fold them down, stick them down, and then you can decorate these. So there's a couple of those for you to have some fun with. And these are some envelopes that are made from some very old book pages from 1920, and I thought that these would be fun for you to decorate as well. And they'll be going with all the other stop making a mess, all the other goodies that we have. So the question that I asked you last time was something funny that has happened to you, and there are some funny things going on here. So let me read them out to you. So thank you to everyone who took part, and don't forget that you get an entry for every time you answer a question, and I will do the drawing later on today for this competition. So all good. I'm doing a quick one this time. So okay, the first person here is Sherry Vaughan. And, I asked for you to tell me a funny thing that happened to you, or a funny story, because I know I've shared some of mine. I do have to just say, I hope I didn't offend anyone the other day with my knickers. I just thought it was hilarious how I've just got married and now I look like Nora Batty. So I do apologise if I did offend anybody, but I'm sorry, that's just me. I just am quite funny sometimes. Right, okay. So Sherry Vaughan, she said that once she got ready to go to work in a hurry. She said, I got dressed and went to work. I worked most of the day, and a fellow worker told me that my dress was inside out. So she worked all day with her dress inside out. I'm sure that's happened to most of us. I know I've done it before, probably not with a dress, but with a top. But I remember once I was in a shop somewhere and this lady had her dress inside out, and I did actually go up to her and whisper to her and tell her, just in case. But I'm sure it happens to us all. Right, okay, then we have Debbie L. And first of all, she said she's so sorry to hear of my tummy issues and that she'll be praying for me to get better. So that's very lovely. Thank you so much, Debbie. Excuse me. She's put, one of my funny, embarrassing stories revolves around my grandmother's funeral. I was still living at home and was in my late teens when my grandmother passed away. We arrived at the funeral home and I got out of the car. We were parked under a tree and it felt like something fell on my head. I felt around but didn't feel anything, so I assumed it was a pine cone or small twig or something. I proceeded into the funeral home, and of course we were seated near the front because we were close relatives. I sat through the whole funeral and got back in the car to head to the cemetery. Since it had been very windy and my hair was very long, I decided I should probably comb it before getting out of the car at the graveside. As I was combing my hair, the comb stuck in the back of the top of my head and I couldn't get the comb to go through it. Charles. I turned and asked my mum to see if she could figure out why, and she looked and told me I had bird poop in my hair. Uh-oh. I literally wanted to slink right down into a puddle, dig a hole and crawl into it. I was so upset and embarrassed that I had sat through the whole entire funeral in the front of the room for all to see, and not one person had told me. Side note. Again, sorry my stories always seem to be so long. My dad, who has always had such a sense of humour, wasn't very comforting, especially to a teenage girl. However, his only comment to me was, well, they sing for most people. Now, I think of this as funny, but I didn't back then. But I do still have a fear of birds flying overhead. Ha ha. Oh, I think I could write a book. Almost did here, lol. Oh, bless you. That is a funny story. Sorry that it was your grandmother's funeral. Yes, to have bird poop in your hair and nobody say anything, OMG. I don't know, but thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, here's Charles. Look, he's back to his normal tricks. Okay, now we have Crafty Smiles. She's saying, just wishing you good health. And she said, my funny moment is related to my grandfather. I was a premature child of 7 months and doctors had already said she will not survive. There is no hope. One day, someone called from the hospital to my nanaji, but due to some technical issues, he could not hear what the message was, and he thought that it was bad news and I had died. So he came to the hospital with all the materials related to the procedure of death, but then he realised I was all well when he came to the hospital, and he did have to laugh at that. I can't imagine. I have grown now how really neither he could share that he bought those things and was laughing on himself what he did. Oh, bless. Well, I am so glad that you survived, my lovely, because the world's a better place for you being in it. And yes, that's probably funny now, but thank you for sharing that with us. Your poor granddad, I don't know. Then we have Jackie McFall, who said, lol, Channelle, I'm still laughing. I used to dye my hair different colours, and one day I decided to dye it blue black. Yes, I was a bit of a goth at that point. Later that night, I went to a concert with my now husband. It was a bit mad, and we ended up near the front of the stage, bouncing around in the mosh pit. I cannot imagine it, Jackie. Oh, after the concert, we decided to go to the nightclub nearby, and after going in, I went to the bathroom. Well, when I looked in the mirror, I looked like something out of a horror film. The dye had run all down my face in big black streaks, making me look like a demented Alice Cooper, and it took me ages to scrub it off. I was so embarrassed. I can't believe no one said anything, but they probably thought it was all part of the look. OMG. I cannot imagine that for 1 second. Yes, I've had hair disasters, but not one quite like that. I do remember once, though, I was about, oh my goodness me, 20. No, I wasn't. Was I 20 something? No, I wasn't. I was about 18 because I didn't have my daughter. And I was going out on a date, and I decided to dye my hair before I was going out. Big mistake. Do not dye your hair unless you're going to use a hair dye that you've used over and over and over. So I went and bought a hair dye, and it was one I hadn't used before. My hair went green. It did go green. So I called my friend who lived a couple of doors away and said, please, please, please go get me a hair kit. I need to cover this over. And thank goodness the hair kit worked. But that was probably my actually, it wasn't my biggest hair disaster, actually. I've had a few. I remember once going for a perm, and I had long hair like I do now, and I was a long time ago, and bleached blonde hair, went for a perm, and when she took the rollers out, my hair just was like chewing gum, and it was all falling out. And so I went in with long hair and came out with like Princess Diana haircut. Yep. So that was not very good. Right. Then we have One Peaceful Mind, Alicia. Oh my God, so many gorgeous goodies. A funny story, oh my goodness. I have many, but let me pick one. Just put, okay, to me it's funny. I was at a grocery store having troubles with my card. I don't really know why, but you know how these things work. And of course, there was this guy behind me in line waiting for me to resolve, but I wasn't getting nowhere. So I was calling my husband when the cashier said to me, okay, miss, you can go to the gentleman behind. You can go, as the gentleman behind already took care of it. And it was, what? It was more than $100 purchased, and he just paid it. He looked at me and smiled and said, it's okay, I took care of it, you can go, and smiled again. I never saw that guy in my life, and I don't even know if I ever will. So, yup, that was my story. Oh my goodness me, can you imagine that? Oh my goodness me, wow. Wow, what a funny story. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could track that man down? Any men out there that are watching that this story fits with, get in contact. Wishful thinking. How lovely, though. See, there are some really, really lovely people in this world. Oh, well, thank you for sharing, honey. Right, now we have Sari, who says, sorry she couldn't take part in the first day as her tablet wouldn't let her see my video. How rude. Bless technology. For some reason, I had a funny moment last Sunday. Went to have a bath, couldn't get out Tried everything. I'd put a bolt on the door but left the latch up. Called out help. My daughter heard me and came to see what was wrong. My husband came to see as well, and they were both talking outside the door, so she rattled the door a bit, which eventually opened. My daughter left, leaving her dad to it. My husband said, laughing, "Don't worry, I've seen it all before," but I eventually got out. But I did feel embarrassed, and she says, "Sorry to hear about your stomach, but there's nothing wrong with big knickers." Oh my goodness me. I have never been stuck in the bath, so I can imagine though how embarrassing that must have been, but not really, because it was your husband. Even if you had to break the door down, you'd have been all right. Could have been worse. Right, Pinky, she says, "Wow, you are brave to show your very cute Tinkerbell underwear." Well, I thought I had to show something, and they were my cutesy nicks. So, yes. No, stop it, mister. Right, I like Tinkerbell, she said. And she said, "My funny experience that I can share is when I was 19 years old in midwifery class. Ow! You naughty boy. That is mean." The subject was nutrition, and our teacher was an old lady that we found quite boring. I had a cold then. I had a big roll of toilet paper to blow my nose. I thought of being naughty and stick some tissue inside my nose and left it there. My classmates who were sitting nearby saw me, and they laughed so quietly as to not attract the teacher's attention. That was 27 years ago, and I still laugh when I remember it. Thank you for this Q&A for us. It's enjoyable to participate. God bless our friendship. Oh, God bless our friendship, Pinky, and all of you. I do bless our friendships. Thank you for that. And Aubrey couldn't think of anything. And then we have Scott Lass Down Under, who says, "Funny thing that happened to me when I was a child. I went to Whitley Bay on holiday, walking along, talking to the person behind me, not watching where I was going. Bang, and I landed on my butt. I had walked into a lamppost that was in the middle of the pavement. Oops, back in Edinburgh, we didn't have them in the middle of the pavement, they were at the edge. I even apologised as I landed, as I thought it was a person I'd banged into. Thankfully it wasn't. I had a cracking lump on the side of my head to boot, lol. Hee hee, you actually showed your knickers to the world." I did, I showed my knickers. It's quite funny actually, Scott Lass, because something very similar happened to me. I had gone to France and been on a ferry, and it was an October crossing, and I was so seasick. Oh my goodness me, I didn't even know about seasickness, and no one gave me a seasickness tablet. I was like 15, and I was so sick that even hours later, even off the ferry, was walking up a street in France, Paris, wherever it was, I don't even know now, and I was still like swaying and you know, that kind of feeling. Anyway, I was so like not with it. I did the same thing, walked straight into a lamppost and ended up with a thing on my head the size of an egg. No, it was not good. It was not good. So I absolutely am with you on that one. Right, the Crafting Shed Davis, she says, "Love your story, but hope you get sorted soon, hun, as having a bad belly is not nice. My one story, my friend, she got engaged. Her and her fella, me and my fella had a few drinks, lol. Then they came back to our house and they ended up in a row. He went home, so after a bit she said, he went home, so after a bit she said, I will go see where he is, and she was gone a long time, so we went to bed, as you do. So the next thing, I wake up and my partner wasn't there. I looked out of the window and there was a fire engine, police and ambulance. Oh my goodness me. So I never thought no more and went back to bed. Then the door knocked and my partner was standing there with oil in one hand and the washing up liquid in another. My friend had only gone and got her hand stuck in the letterbox. Oh my goodness me, haha. She said don't tell anyone, as she was so embarrassed, but the next day it was front page of the paper. Haha. Sorry this is so long, but I thought this was so funny. I still laugh now, but my poor friend has since passed away. Oh, bless you. Well, sorry for the loss of your friend, my darling, but thank you for sharing that. I cannot imagine having to call people out because you've got your hand stuck in the letterbox. Oh my goodness me. Right, now we have Judith, who says she loves my knickers. Really sexy for a newly married woman, seriously. I hope your problem gets sorted quickly. What a pain having to wait 6 weeks though. Bless you, thank you. She went, I guess my funny story, which was very embarrassing at the time, is on a family holiday we went for a swim in a heated pool at the hotel we were staying at. Anyway, I was happily swimming along, holding on to my youngest child, who would have been about 2 years old, and suddenly realised that the clip on my halter neck of my togs had come unclipped and the top part had slipped down, showing everything. Boy, did I slip down under the water quickly to try and fix the problem before too many people saw. I reckon my son must have unclipped it when he was holding on to me, but I never wore those togs again. I just didn't trust that clip. Right, well, I will tell you a funny story. Last year when I was in Greece, I went into the sea, which I don't normally do, and it was a bit choppy. And while I was in the water, my bottoms actually, the waves took them down. Thank goodness nobody realised, but it could have been very, very embarrassing. So, oh my goodness me. Watch or hold on to your costume when you're in the water, everybody. Right, Thurred. She went, lol, you are gorgeous, honey. Oh, when I was 21, I had met my parents-in-law. I had told them that I wasn't smoking. I only did it when I was partying. So one day we went to a posh party in Sussex, and my husband and his cousin told me all night long that my father-in-law, rest in peace, bless him, is standing behind me. And in the end, I did not believe it anymore and was enjoying a cigarette. But you can imagine this time that he was actually behind me. I felt really stupid. Uh-oh. Oh, bless. I'm sure he understood. I'm sure it was fine. Oh, bless you. Thank you for sharing, my darling. Then we have Liz Nixon. Sorry to hear of your stomach issues. It's terrible to have to wait so long. I am full sympathy with you, as I too have those issues, but not as bad as your current problem. I sure wish you a safe and healthy outcome. Oh, bless you, Liz. Thank you for your message. And thank to everyone else who has wished me well with sorting out my tummy problems. And then we have the lovely Christine Mortimer, my lovely mummy C. She said we was on a coach holiday visiting America, and each morning we would move on to the next city. Well, I wanted to go to the toilet, and I prefer to use our own bedroom toilet. So after breakfast, I went up in the lift, went along to our room, went into the bathroom, and as I came out, all of a sudden, 2 bodies rose from the bed. I was in the room, a floor below, and the room key had let me in. I was so embarrassed, I nearly died. Oh, that is terribly embarrassing, I must admit. Oh my goodness me. That is embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I've loved all of your stories. They've been amazing. And it's funny, actually, that story you just said, told about Christine. I'll share a little funny one with you. Oh my goodness me, about 30 years ago, me and my friend, one of my besties, used to go out clubbing. And we had a friend called Andy who, he never drank, and he used to drive us because he used to live near us. So he used to come to the club with us. So he would drive and we would have a bit of a drink. And anyway, so we'd been out for the night and we got in the car to come home. And on the way home, we was a bit tiddly, and we would always go, we're hungry, we're hungry. And we would always get him to stop at like a burger van or something to get, you know, as you do, you get the munches at 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 or whatever it was. So he had to pull up a bit further down the street, and we toddled off, got our burgers, and we toddled back to the car. We got into the car and we sat there eating our burgers merrily, and we're thinking, where is Andy? Where's he gone? And we waited and waited and waited. We must have been sat there like half an hour, finished our burgers, and I looked up and I saw this thing dangling from the mirror, and I said to my friend, I went, Andy doesn't have one of them in his car. Cut a long story short, we had got into a stranger's car, God knows where the driver was, and we sat there and ate our burgers in a stranger's car. Anyway, we legged it out of the car, ran down the road. Thank goodness Andy was still there, fuming because he thought we'd been talking to people and what have you. But the poor person who got back in his car would have smelt burgers in them and thought, maybe they thought they were going crazy. But how strange is that? We went and sat in a stranger's car. So we do have a little laugh about that one every now and then. But thank you all so much for your answers. It's been really, really fun. There is a lot of goodies here, and I will be back later on with the video to pick a winner. How exciting. So oh, Charlie's back. I missed you, Charlie, you little monkey. I have done an intolerance test to find out if my stomach is related to foods or allergies or intolerances, and I should have the results back in a couple of days. But it also does a pet allergy test, because I think I told you, I think I have this really bad feeling that I'm allergic to the cats as well, like almost hay fever symptoms. So hopefully we'll be able to sort it out if I am, but we'll find out soon. But I am not getting rid of my babies. No, I'm not. I'm going to suffer in silence because I loved you. Oh, bless, he's so beautiful. Everybody's missed you so much, you handsome boy. Isn't he lovely? Look, let me zoom in. He is such a lovely boy. There's who is. Are you handsome? Do you know that everybody's watching you at home and everybody loves their Charles? Yes, they do. You are a lovely boy. So whoever's going to get these are going to get lots of cat hairs all over them. But they don't mind because it's lovely Charlie's hairs, and he's like, ugh. Right, I will also be back today or tomorrow with some more sorting out of my craft room and some more fun things. So watch this space. So thank you again to everyone who took part the other day and today, and I will be back to pick a winner very soon. So take care, my lovelies, and see you in a bit from me and from the handsome Charlie. We'll see you all very soon. You's a little monkey. Yes, he is. There's mama's baby. Oh, that was sweet. He did a little nibble. He didn't bite hard, did you? Didn't. He's calmed down a bit since I've been back, actually. Haven't you? Yes, you have. He's doing like little nibbles. Nibble, nibble, nibble. He's so beautiful. Right, we're going to go. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Oh, look, he's up. Do you want a treat? Oh. He usually... Oh, no, what have I done? I've done something to the camera. Charles. Not a treat. Treat. It's weird. He does not talk when I'm on the camera. Come on then, let's go and get a treat. Right, we're off to get treats. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.